Yeah, Manscaped. Uh-oh, is that Lizzie? Alright. Let's go. No. Back up.
Let me out.
Back up. Back up.
The one thing about Brett is he's a true athlete, comes from an athlete background. You know, basically every time he steps on stage, really all that is a checkpoint and analysis for him in terms of where he's at currently, how much better he needs to get. You know, and that's what our process has been about. So every time that he's competed, it's almost been like, okay, this is a checkpoint to see how much better I need to be. Initially, we planned to do a later spring show this season. I personally feel like I kind of rushed that a little bit. You know, I set this goal and mile marker in his head to do the Arnold, which we did. We did come up a little bit short there, not only in terms of what our expectations were, but also his final result on stage in terms of his look wasn't what I expected it to be, and that's something that I hold pretty heavily on myself. You know, so after that show, he decided that he wanted to come down here, be down here full time. And for me as a coach, I've always had better success and better results when they're in person. And I just get to look at them. You know, you get to see the emotional side of the athlete. You also get to see the physical side of the athlete. So on a day-to-day basis, up to this point, I've been kind of relying on Brett while he's been in Colorado to kind of relay information to me, which he does a great job of. But with me being in person, you can kind of see some of the more unforeseen things, you know, see how he's transitioning through a prep, see when the fatigue's really starting to build up, see things because he is, again, so athletic mindset and he just has that mental component that's so strong that he might not want to relay to me or he might not be able to relay to me that I can kind of see in person.
The thing I love most about bodybuilding is that the more you put into it and the deeper you dig, the more you discover about yourself. Not only physically, but emotionally and mentally as well. But the training aspect, your coach can't do that for you. You know, that's the thing, is the athletes, that's where they really shine, and they, you know, they separate themselves as, you know, how bad do they want it in their training, their intensity involved, their execution, and so that's just comes down to, you know, the heart. So I've had a shit ton of heart this prep, you know, digging it out. There absolutely has been challenges. You know, I've had to deal with a few different leg issues, you know, with just nerve endings and things. So it's been a process of continuing to stretch out, mobility work, things like that. Not being able to go as heavy as I wanted at the beginning of prep. But as prep has progressed, everything's gotten better. We've figured out my body more, so we can make adjustments in the training to fill the legs up, you know, when we need to. And overall, it's been not only, you know, a physical battle, but a mental one as well. And I would say that we've conquered it overall.
Up. Here we go. Up. Yep. Two. Up. Up. Up.
Go, go,
Come on.
Up. All the way through, all the way through. Come on, come on.
Thank you.
Oh. Stop.
Ooh. This is nice.
I showed up in the gym this morning. He had already completed his cardio. I then did 35 minutes of cardio. I left. He was still there. So he's doing all the little things without having to be asked, the stretching, the abs, the calves, you know, just making sure that his body's where it needs to be. So really, with somebody like Brett who does everything to the best of his ability, if he's not on, that comes back on me, you know. So that's where it's very important that I'm in tune with where he's at, you know, just making sure that we deliver on this prep for him.
Three. Me. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ooh. This one.
What are you weighing right now?
It's 258, this thing. 257.
Bro,
Let's,
look nasty.
yeah, I got it. Oh, fuck. Ah. Two. Woo. That was good.
Back off.
Little different training philosophies in that, you know, now that we've done a few shows together, we knew what we needed to bring up. So we had some areas to focus on. I feel like, you know, symmetrically I'm very, very good, but there's always some things that body parts that are better than others. This one, you know, what we really focused on was bringing up the legs as well as arms. And then also with that, our huge focus was on digestion. In the previous prep, I had some acid reflux issues that I didn't really discuss very too much during the time. But it was limited to me from the absorption of food. I could never get my stomach really under control because there's always heartburn involved, and it was always backed up on digestion too. So one thing we really hit from the start this prep was make sure digestion, acid reflux is taken care of from the beginning. So we pushed harder at the beginning with lower food to get, to really get hungry, to really, clean the body out from the long off season of, massive amounts of food. And then now we've been able to eat a little bit more into the show just because we've been more responsive. So 9 times out of 10, preps are dictated by the digestion, solely that digestion. So make sure those things are on point, because that dictates everything else you do. Your training, your absorption of food, how much more you can have, how much more you can take out. So that was a huge focus with us, was getting digestion on point, and then just continue to do what I do in my training. And that's the process I love, is the training aspect. Matt trusts me 100% that I'm always in there. He doesn't tell me what to train, tell me what to do. He just knows I'm in there getting it done, make suggestions as he needs. So that's been really good to kind of work hands-on with him. Now he can see me more in my training. I think everybody has, kind of seen that with these videos, that's what I love to do, and that's something I can help others with too.